Reading from Upanishad, we are on mantra 11. I'll just read the mantra. Vidyam cha vidyam cha yastad vedo bhayam saha avidyaya mrityum tirtva vidyayamritam ashnute. Only one who can learn the process of nations and that of transcendental knowledge side by side can transcend the influence of repeated birth and death and enjoy the full blessings of immortality. Okay, so we've been hearing about how the universities are just giving us nations, but not letting us know what is the true knowledge. And then, so Sri Isopanishad instructs us not to make one-sided attempts to win the struggle for existence. We read that Hiranyakashipu, he tried so hard that he should not be killed, but with his tiny brain, he couldn't understand how to get away from death. And Lord Nishingadev came. Everyone is struggling hard for existence, but the laws of material nature are so hard and fast that they do not allow anyone to surpass them. In order to attain a permanent life, one must be prepared to go back to Godhead. Okay. So the process by which one goes back to Godhead is a different branch of knowledge. And it has to be learned from the revealed Vedic scriptures. I'm sorry, did we do this?
Yeah,
we did this. So from his kingdom, the personality of Godhead sends his bona servants to propagate his message, by which one can return to Godhead. And did we do this?
Okay, let me.
No, we didn't do this. Yeah. So sometimes Krishna sends his bona fide servants, means his pure devotees. He sends them to tell us about, hey, this is not your permanent home. You're not the body or the soul. Get out of here. And sometimes he comes himself to give us this message. Since all living beings are his beloved sons, his parts and parcels, God is more sorry than we ourselves to see the sufferings we are constantly undergoing in this material condition. So God is a person. We can see God is a person and he's feeling sorry. It means it's an emotion, right? We are his beloved sons. So this is an emotion. He loves us. He's an emotion. Emotion means he is a person. He has a heart. He's a person, not that he's not a person. And so he is more sorry than we ourselves. He really does not want us to suffer. He does not. He wants us to come back home and enjoy with him always. The miseries of this material world serve to indirectly remind us of our incompatibility with dead matter. So we are always trying to find happiness in this material world, which is nothing but dead matter. If we try to see what are the elements of this material world, it's just earth, water, air, fire, ether. It's all dead. There's no life. Whatever life we see in this world is because the soul is in there. The living entity is in there. Otherwise, it's just dead. And we are trying to find happiness in this dead matter. And that's the reason we are feeling more and more frustrated. More and more frustrated. Intelligent living entities generally take note of these reminders and engage themselves in the culture of Vidya or transcendental knowledge. So now again, important word choice, intelligent. What is intelligence means? We think intelligence means somebody who's very proficient in one part of material knowledge, you know. Maybe they made very good decisions, they're very clever to get away in a situation, or they're very clever to make money, or they're very clever to, I don't know, different things. But that's all related to the body. Not that it's not needed. It's needed. Sure, we are in the material world, so we need all those things. But what is true intelligence? True intelligence to engage in culture of Vidya or transcendental knowledge. Human life is the best opportunity for the culture of spiritual knowledge, and a human being who does not take advantage of this opportunity is called a Naradhama, the lowest of human beings. So this is what Sri Isopanishad is saying. And even in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna himself says that in the 7th chapter, that this human life we have been given for what? We have been given to cultivate spiritual knowledge, to understand who we are, and not only understand who we are, but to get out of this material world. We need to get out of this material world, not continue to stay here. And then Krishna is saying a human being who does not take advantage of this opportunity is called a Naradama, the lowest of human beings. So we can see that in the society right now, what's happening. How many are actually interested to understand what is transcendental knowledge? How many want to take the opportunity to get out of this material world? And then what are we being called? We are called lowest of human beings. This is what the Vedas are calling us. So to wake us up is not to belittle us, not to to be rude to us or to, they have some grudge against us. No, but to shake us up because of their kindness, because of the kindness of Krishna. Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam also says, two-legged animals. Why such harsh words are used? To shake us. Hey, what am I doing? What am I doing? To shake us from our deep ignorance. That's why these words are used. Krishna loves us a lot. He does not want to say, oh, I'm so pure and you are the lowest of human beings. He does not need to feel that we do those things. Oh, you're so bad, I'm so good. We have those things, not Krishna. Krishna loves each and every one of us. Everyone belongs to him. And so he's using such words to really get our attention. What did he call me? He called me lowest of human being, a Naradama. Let me try to improve then. Let me see what's all this happening. So the path of avidya, or advancement of material knowledge for sense gratification, is the path of repeated birth and death. The advancement of material knowledge for sense gratification is a path of repeated birth and death. Because then no matter how much advancement we are making in the material world, in the material knowledge, better machines, better facilities, better standard of life, better health, better wealth, better everything, but still will keep us here in the material world. As he exists spiritually, the living entity has no birth or death. Birth and death apply to the outward covering of the spirit soul, the body. Death is compared to the taking off, and birth to the putting on of outward garments. So it's not that when we die, like many people say, rest in peace. When somebody dies, then we'll post rest in peace. But there is no rest in peace for the soul. The soul never dies. People have the misconception, oh, this person is dead, so now there's nothing more. There's zero. That even if he's a soul, he's just doing nothing and just peaceful. No. The soul, based on his activities, is gonna go to his next destination. Is going to get either a material body or a spiritual body. So death is taking off, means the soul is going to give up this body, taking off our clothes, old clothes, and putting on new clothes. Foolish human beings who are grossly absorbed in the culture of avidya, nations, do not mind this cruel process. Enamored by the beauty of the illusory energy, they undergo the same miseries repeatedly and do not learn any lessons from the laws of nature. So again, we are called foolish if we are saying, that's okay with me. I will be born, I will die, I will live here, I'll still be here. It's okay, the miseries, let them come. I will bear the miseries. What's the big deal? Then we are being called foolish. We are being called foolish. That we are not learning the lessons that we need to learn. And that is to understand that we are not the body, we are the soul. And we need to, that you see what's happening. In the bargain, what are we losing actually? We are losing our time with Krishna. By not trying to understand that we are the body, we are the soul, we have a relationship with Krishna, we are losing our time with him. We are keeping ourselves away from him. We are keeping ourselves away from being able to experience the highest bliss that there is, the fulfillment of the heart, the joy of the heart. We are stopping ourselves from feeling that. And that's the reason that Krishna, that Sri Isopanishad is using such words. That wake up, what are you doing? Wake up. You're capable of experiencing the highest pleasure, the highest bliss. Why are you doing such things? And we have an opportunity to be with Krishna, and we don't want to take that. So that is really a sad thing, because Krishna is the most loving person, most wonderful person. And we are saying, no, I don't want Krishna. I'd rather be here. I'd rather be here in the material world. Why should I want Krishna, So that's the reason we are being called foolish, to really tell us, what are you doing? It's nothing to belittle us or to be mean to us or to be cruel to us. No, but it is because Krishna loves us. Therefore, the culture of Vidya or transcendental knowledge is essential for the human being. Sense enjoyment in the diseased material condition must be restricted as far as possible. So it's not that we have the senses, so we have to enjoy with them. We cannot, I have the eyes, I'm going to close my eyes. It's not possible. How long will we close our eyes? I have a mouth and a tongue, I'm going to close and not do anything. How long will that happen? So, unrestricted sense enjoyment in this bodily condition is the path of ignorance and death. So what is it? That we have the senses, but engage them in Krishna's service. Use them, connect them to Krishna, connect the senses to Krishna. The living entities are not without spiritual senses. Every living being in his original spiritual form has all the senses, which are now materially manifested, being covered by the material body and mind. So we have a spiritual body, we have a spiritual form, and we have spiritual senses. But that spiritual form, the spiritual senses, are now covered by this material body and the material senses. We just have to uncover. We have to uncover it. The activities of the material senses are perverted reflections of the activities of the original spiritual senses. In his disease condition, the spirit soul engages in material activities under the material covering. Real sense enjoyment is possible only when the disease of materialism is removed. So if we want truly sense enjoyment, truly we want the senses to enjoy, then it's only in the connection of Krishna. Otherwise there isn't. Otherwise there isn't. In our pure spiritual form, free from all material contamination, real enjoyment of the senses is possible. A patient must regain his health before he can truly enjoy sense pleasure again. Thus, the aim of human life should not be to enjoy perverted sense enjoyment, but to cure the material disease. Aggravation of the material disease is no sign of knowledge, but a sign of avidya, ignorance. So right now we are in a disease condition. What's the disease condition? We think we are the body, and that the only way I can be happy is by enjoying my senses. But what are we being advised? Okay, you're in a disease condition, but you can be truly happy only when you are fit and healthy. So come back to health. And what is the health? When we revive our spiritual senses, when we regain our spiritual body, that is the health. For good health, a person should not increase his fever from 105 degrees to 107 degrees, but should reduce his temperature to the normal 98.6. That should be the aim of human life. So this is the aim of human life, not to continue to enjoy the senses in a perverted manner, but to cultivate true knowledge. That is the aim. The modern trend of material civilization is to increase the temperature of the feverish material condition, which has reached the point of 107 degrees in the form of atomic energy. Meanwhile, the foolish politicians are crying that any moment the world may go to hell. That is the result of the advancement of material knowledge and the neglect of the most important part of life, the culture of spiritual knowledge. So now we can understand, because many people say, oh, what's happening in the world? Why so much unhappiness? Why so much unrest? What's happening? So much torture, so much inequality. What's happening? What's happening? All this is happening because we are neglecting the most important part of our life, which is to cultivate spiritual knowledge. And we are giving only importance to material advancement, material knowledge. We are giving only importance to the body, and forgetting the soul. So that is why, and because each of us is doing that, and each of us live in this world, so each of us is contributing to the chaos, to the world. So Sri Isopanishad herein warns that we must not follow this dangerous path leading to death. On the contrary, we must develop the culture of spiritual knowledge so that we may become completely free from the cruel hands of death. So Sri Isopanishad is using the word we must. Is using the word must develop. Means, we have this human form of life, so we must develop the spiritual knowledge. Why? So to get completely free from the cruel hands of death. Is that okay? Any questions or comments?
No.
Anything to add or share? No? Well, then we'll stop here for today. Thank you so much for listening in. Shri Isopanishad ki jai, Shilpa Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanande, Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.